Cyclone Ditwa has brought the worst devastation to Sri Lanka in decades, and the tea-growing heartland bore the brunt of it. Over the past week, our correspondents in Uva in the central province have described a landscape transformed, slopes stripped bare, entire valleys reshaped, and once lush tea gardens cut through by deep scars of mud and rock. The human toll is staggering. The National Disaster Management Center lists 410 confirmed dead and 1,800 injured, with 336 still missing, many from hill country plantation communities where worker housing collapsed under massive landslides. At least 10 bridges were damaged and additional disruptions to rail and power networks nationwide. Rescue and relief workers report 15,000 homes destroyed and 200 impassable roads. More than 400,000 Sri Lankan families have been affected, and over 233,000 people remain displaced in emergency shelters. For the tea sector, the damage is immediate and long-term. In Badula district, especially in Bandawara, Apatali, Ila, and Willamata, entire hillsides of mature tea have been wiped out. Some estates have lost 40 to 60% of their standing bushes. Internal estate roads and several smallholder buying centers have been destroyed. State-owned tea factories, however, were largely spared. In Kandy district, where a single highest death toll was recorded, landslides have cut off critical hill routes, leaving factories idle and green leaf stranded. Nuera Elia has also seen widespread disruption, with slopes destabilized and worker communities displaced. Matali reports severe mudflows and high household destruction. Many estates estimate it will take months to rebuild roads, replant fields, and restore worker housing. Beyond the physical destruction, the social fabric of the tea lands has been deeply shaken. Many workers have lost homes, family members, or both. Labor turnout has collapsed as communities focus on recovery and search efforts. As the situation develops, TBiz will continue on-the-ground reporting. But the message today is clear. Cyclone Ditwa has reshaped Sri Lanka's tea country, and its impact on the global orthodox market will be felt into 2026. Zara Afshar, Legal and Human Rights Counsel at Ahmad Tea, commented on the situation in Colombo in this eyewitness report published on LinkedIn.
I'm back in Colombo now, and the rains have stopped. The sun is out. The flooding in the city has gone. But I know that's not the case inland and around the rest of the country. Up country, we're hearing that a lot of the roads have been destroyed by landslides. The tea estates are even more cut off than they were before. Some are even saying that it'll be hard for them to have food, to get access to food. Rations, the electricity and the phone lines have been down for days, and people can't access the tea growing regions because there are just literally no roads going up to the up country. So it's going to be a tough couple of months in Sri Lanka, especially in agriculture and farming. A lot of the food has been washed away, crops have been washed away. The tea plantation is a little bit more resilient, obviously, but the new plants have all been washed away, and the soil erosion has been really, really devastating for the estates. Some housing have been washed away. Some of the tea workers' houses have been washed away. So it's hard to really know what the damage is at this stage, but we're really working hard to find out and see how we can help. The phone lines, as I mentioned, are down, so it's going to take a few days. But I'm not going to be able to travel to the tea estates, which is really sad. And it's really sad that I was here to witness all of this. But in a way, it's been really insightful for me to really understand the climate conditions, weather patterns, the vulnerability of the region. We take it for granted that tea just appears in our tea bags, but there's a lot that goes into it. And farming is so fragile.
This is Nalanja Silva reporting for TBiz from Sri Lanka. We first felt the effects of Cyclone Ditwa on Thursday. On Thursday, we were working on a renovation at the foothills of Adams Peak or Suripada, because the pilgrimage season that runs from December to April was a week away, and we were finishing up the last parts of our renovation. And in the morning, one side of the building, the land gave way, it slipped. This is due to almost 3-4 days of constant rain. So we pulled everyone out of the building, we sealed the area off, and at the time we didn't realize what was coming in and what was in store. So we'd spoken to a geologist. He had agreed to come and see us on December 6th, and we stopped work. That night we were hit with torrential rain, very high wind, which knocked out the power supply, which knocked out the phone lines, and we saw another smaller slip on the other side of the building occur, which went down into the river. And we weren't aware of what was happening island-wide, because we were at the base of Adams Peak. At one point, we thought that there was a helicopter landing, because that was the sound that we heard. We thought we had a helicopter right overhead of us, but it wasn't. It was actually an extremely large landslide that was triggered 3 kilometers up, and that landslide that triggered 3 kilometers up came down on the other side of the ridge line into our property, taking out a temporary shop that's set up for the pilgrimage season and wiping out a very large chunk of land. And I think what needs to be emphasized here is that that area of land had zero development on it. That was a large part of it was virgin jungle. That hasn't been touched at all. There's no trekking routes up there, so totally untouched. It has just given way. That tells you the sheer weight of water that has fallen in the last few days. From there, we were totally cut off. We'd heard about 3 other landslips that had happened from the town of Nalathania to Muskelia. So there was one at Mohiniella, one at Rakatan, and another one at the junction of Mausakele Brownlow. One of our individuals who works for us, her family's from Badulla, and she had unfortunately lost 2 of her uncles, and a whole village section has disappeared to landslide. Many of our staff in Colombo are actually underwater due to the flooding that came down from the hill country into the low country, where we've struggled to communicate with everyone across the island because we've had no water. Well, in Nalathani we have had water, but we haven't had any power. We've had no cell signal, and the cell signal now remains cut off. And as you can imagine, the pilgrimage season that has happened every year religiously has been pushed back. It's the 3rd of December today, as I'm speaking to you, Dan, and today was the day that we were meant to have brought the priests in and settled them into the temple at the top of Adams Peak. And today was meant to be the start of the pilgrimage season, which is a full moon day. That will not happen, and it's most likely that the season will be delayed for at least a month, 2 months, if not longer.
TBiz Assam-based correspondent Rupak Goswami filed this report on a new national program that champions quantum secure traceability, specialty handling, and heritage-driven market growth. Dateline, Guwahati. Assam, which produces more than half of India's tea, is positioning itself at the forefront of the global tea industry's next transformation. The government of Assam's Department of Innovation, Incubation, and Startups convened a landmark leadership forum titled Innovation in Assam Tea, Traceability, Heritage, and Global Market Access on November 19th and 20th, signaling a national-level push to modernize India's most storied beverage sector. The event aimed to introduce innovation-led approaches to strengthen Assam's tea global competitiveness. Describing the gathering as a watershed event, Dr. Kavi Kota, Chief Secretary, Government of Assam, said the state must confront climate vulnerabilities, branding gaps, and tightening compliance norms while leveraging emerging free trade agreements, particularly with the UK, to expand premium market share. He stressed the need for unified action across policymakers, research bodies, and industry. Dr. Jivan Vasamvarish, Secretary of DISS, opened the event by calling for the adoption of technology across the value chain and announced collaboration intentions with the Tea Board of India, CDAC, TRA Toklai, Assam Tourism Development Corporation, and Guwahati Tea Auction Center. Senior central officials presented a unified case for innovation-led sectoral renewal. S. Krishnan, Secretary of the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, highlighted quantum-safe digital trust systems under DPIIT Digital India. Rajesh Agarwal, Commerce Secretary, called for GI-based brand narratives to strengthen global perception. Amardeep Singh Bhatia, Secretary of the Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, assured Startup India and support to tea innovators. And C. Murugan, Deputy Chairman of the Tea Board of India, outlined youth-focused export promotion strategies. The tea industry voices, including Sunil Singh Sikand, Vice Chairman of the Indian Tea Association, emphasized the need for sharper repositioning in international markets. Quantum technology and digital traceability were shown through live demonstrations. A.J. Chowdhury, chairman of the National Quantum Mission, illustrated how quantum sensors, gravitometers, magnetometers, can enhance plantation precision and soil carbon assessment. TraceX technology demonstrated blockchain trace QR traceability, providing end-to-end transparency for global buyers. And panels led by sector experts, including Sakit Kumar, Joydeep Phukan, Raj Baru, Ishtapreet Singh, Mahatma Venkatesh, and others, addressed digital traceability and data security, export readiness for stricter MRL and sustainability norms, specialty consumption trends in Gen Z formats, and heritage estates as innovation hubs. The emerging consensus was that Assam tea must compete on assurance, value addition, and provenance, not volume alone. The forum witnessed the exchange of 4 key intents of association, laying the groundwork for long-term technical and market reforms. Number 1, quantum-safe digital infrastructure for traceability. 2, tea tourism circuits in Assam. 3, National Tea Innovation Challenge. And 4, export accelerators for Assam tea startups and MSMEs. Taken together, these initiatives aim to future-proof Assam tea against global standards while enabling homegrown innovation. Tea-Biz correspondent Anne-Frédérique Dairaud attended the gala presentation of this year's AVPA Awards. She writes, winners of the International Teas of the World contest gathered in the Peruvian Embassy in Paris this week for a festive presentation of medals. The event, now in its 8th edition, is organized by AVPA, the Agency for the Valorization of Agricultural Products. Participants this year submitted more than 300 teas and tisanes from 18 countries. AVPA awarded 161 medals, 31 gold, 28 silver, 29 bronze, and 73 gourmet medals, signifying their gastronomic appeal to the French palate. The standout performer in 2025 was Taiwan, which continues to lead the competition's top tier. Taiwan earned 8 gold medals, mainly for high-altitude oolongs and innovative black teas that showcase the island's deep craftsmanship and terroir-driven style. China followed with 4 golds, mainly in the oolong and scented tea categories. In comparison, India secured 3 golds, all from the Darjeeling region, an impressive display focused on first flush, white, and second flush artisanal lots. Regionally, East Asia remains the strongest area by far, with Taiwan, China, Japan, and South Korea collectively winning more than half of all the gold medals. South Asia, led by India, stays competitive, but mostly wins silver and gourmet categories rather than gold. Africa and Latin America, while not receiving top rewards this year, are well represented in the gourmet and fusion categories, showing strong growth among small and emerging producers. Director Philippe Juglar expressed, quote, our sincere thanks to the Embassy of Peru in France, especially to His Excellency Ambassador Rolando Ruiz Rosas Cantanario, for their warm hospitality and invaluable support, which played a major role in the success and quality of the event, end quote. The AVPA structure, judging teas according to the gastronomic criteria rather than a traditional origin standard, continues to reward creativity, aroma complexity, balance, and potential for culinary pairing. This year's results underscore a widening field of producers who are treating tea as a crafted specialty product rather than a commodity. Ksenia Kasherskaya Hilip, who manages the competition, said the quality of teas entered in the contest continues to improve, both in aroma and technical skill, reflecting increasing expertise and a strong dedication from producers worldwide. Once again, we were excited to welcome outstanding teas and infusions from many countries, showcasing the contest's geographical and cultural diversity. A notable recent development is the participation of 5 new French tea plantations, compared to only 1 in the previous 3 editions. Some even presented multiple teas and received awards. The black tea from Maison du Breton plantation was even honored with technical jury member Karush Baruska's coup de coeur, indicating the judge's heartfelt favorite. These very small producers are now competing in the big league. Several diplomatic missions attended the event, especially those from Saudi Arabia, Azerbaijan, Brazil, China, South India, South Korea, Portugal, and the United Kingdom, as well as Sri Lanka. Their support underscores the importance placed on sustainable development and promoting small tea producers, and they were the ones who received awards when the producers couldn't attend. The AVPA recognized Karine Baudry, president of the technical jury, and all members of the technical and gastronomic journeys. Their expertise, availability, and professional rigor were essential to the success of the 8th edition. Without their skills and dedication, the contest could not have achieved the level of excellence for which it is known, said Juglar. Business Insight. This 8th edition confirms the international tea community's growing commitment and reinforces AVPA's mission to promote high-quality teas from diverse terroir. For the global tea trade, these medals serve as indicators of rising origin, shifting flavor trends, and the premiumization of loose-leaf tea worldwide. And by the way, congratulations, Anne, whose Sanskriti collection teas were awarded 3 gourmet medals.
Produced by AVPA Studios. Connect your voice to the world.